Hello. Oh, it's ticking already. Better get a move on. Right.
This was our, if you want to tweet live, grab it quick and we're off.
So you get two for the price of one today, because we are a collaboration, so it didn't seem right, just me coming on my own. So this is our gallery in a caravan, which we got the idea because we wanted to take art to people. We were commissioned to be in a festival for the millennium in, obviously, the year 2000 in Portsmouth, and I was making a lot of work at the time about the British and leisure activities, so a caravan was the perfect vehicle. So this is our first outing.
And we decided at the first we didn't want to just have a twee caravan with seats and beds and things in it, so we bought it off a German lady who spent quite a long time telling us how everything works, and within half an hour of buying it, we'd ripped it all out and converted it into a white space, so it's just white walls and a wood floor.
So the idea is we can just take it anywhere. It's not quite as straightforward because there's bollards and traffic wardens and red tape, but we thought if we take art to people, we treat the caravan inside as like a proper formal white space, but it's kind of hidden in a caravan, so it's really accessible.
And it was just for that weekend, and we're still using it now, so it's been a very long weekend, 20 years later almost. So we'd started off taking it around as we've just been said, with hundreds of places we've been to, but everywhere from the back streets of Liverpool to outside the Tate.
Quite fancy places too. We just love that juxtaposition. We like a nice juxtaposition.
And we've been cheeky over the years. That particular exhibition, it was just for a Friday night late at Tate show, and we decided to just camp there for the weekend. So we put our van in the back of the Tate, slept in the van and kept the caravan there for a weekend before anybody really noticed we were there.
I don't think they know we slept in the car park, but anyway, that's another story. So this is what we were doing in the caravan. Our line of inquiry was, is Britain great? We like a nice bit of wordplay too. So I think what we're going to show you next is just So sometimes we move out of the caravan itself. So this is when we moved into Aspex Gallery in Portsmouth.
It's when Aspex moved, we were the first show. We were working great big numbers, so there were 1,500 images in that particular show, and it was called Is Britain Great? And that's been a theme of ours for a number of years. We've produced books on the theme, Is Britain Great? We don't know the answer to that, but we're investigating still.
So what we work in sort of typologies in series. So we record everyday life. So it might be like a series of bins or road signs or just behaviour. So it's about sociology and anthropology as much as anything.
And at the same time, we were making postcards. Some people got hold of our postcards and said, would you like to make a book? We made a book. Someone said, would you like to send your book to Paul Smith, the designer? He might like it. He did like it. And he shipped the caravan off to his base in Japan, in Tokyo. So that was the exhibition, the only garden in Tokyo, just about, where we could put the caravan.
We had people, there were men in white gloves manoeuvring our little gallery. And people wanted to move into it, didn't they?
So again, this is just running through a few of the places that we've been. And one of our discoveries, one of our greatest successes is the washing line gallery. There's not often enough room in the caravan, so we expand into the washing line gallery as well.
So we're very interested in regional identity. Been talking a lot about identity today and self and society. So often here we were invited to go to Aberdeenshire. We travelled around 17 different towns and villages for a day each in November and December, so chilly caravanning weather.
With a gannet.
we were given a stuffed gannet by the museum because they thought it might entice people, which it did.
And our work has been compared to exhibitions and museums. We've just come back from making a museum in Lithuania in a 3-week period. So the tour in Aberdeenshire, we created a museum in the caravan, so that's actually the inside of the caravan at the end of the tour. We have famous people been in the caravan. We've just chosen Fiona Hislop. We could have had Alex Salmon, but we chose Fiona Hislop.
Not meant to be political here, are we?
So this is the sort of images that we've been known for a certain type of image, and
So this is why we never go anywhere without our cameras, because you might see an Afghan hound in a shell suit. So many people say to us, oh, do you know what I saw today, this, that, and the other, but I didn't have my camera. So there's no excuse, is there?
And every picture tells a story. That was shown first at the Eden Centre, the Eden Project, where we had an exhibition many years ago. And we now know every detail about the dog, the owner, the life, where they go on the bus, what they buy at Marks and Spencer's, everything just from that one photo.
So the thing about putting our photos in the caravan, people come in, brings people together. It brings anybody from a road sweeper to an international curator to someone shopping, and then they just talk about the subject of the photos, because photography is just a brilliant democratic language as far as we're concerned.
That is just purely how to be English.
This is one of my all-time favourites, and you might have noticed we're a bit kind of anti-establishment, and I think one of our biggest inspirations is the language of tourism. We're told what are attractions, what we're meant to look at. If you're going to go here, pay some money, go up that, go along there, which is fine, but we like to go down the back streets, see what else there is, find.
That was on the top of a car park 50 yards from the beach, but he obviously wanted to be alone, so we left him alone.
I think we do enjoy a bit of maverick activity.
You make up your own minds what's happening there. We've all felt that. And that.
So I think at the moment, I think James mentioned we have this touring exhibition called Extraordinary, about how extraordinary, ordinary, everyday life is. It was in Liverpool, but it could be anywhere, couldn't it? And I think she probably went in and thought, oh, I'll just, get a top for a £5 and then thought, oh, what have I done?
Jan wants that cast in bronze and stuffed in Liverpool.
In a shopping precinct.
The language of marketing is another thing.
Kind of fits in with the burglar apocalypse a bit, doesn't it?
Some people don't put two and two together sometimes.
So people make signs, but they don't really think about what they put on them. We're glad they don't, because it's more entertaining that way, isn't it?
It's one of Jan's favourites. She'll read it for you.
Oh, can you? If you can't read it, we love stroppy signs. And there's this feeling, there's a simmering undercurrent of just annoyance and irritation. So there was a shop in Mevagissey, I don't know if it's still there, called Cloud Cuckoo Land. And it was full of collectibles, and the fella in there must have been sick of people like holiday makers going, oh, the price of those antiques. So please don't be shocked by the price of antiques as you stand there in your £150 trainers that are 6 months away from the bin, and then it just says thank you. So at least it's all of these are an interesting comment about the value of things.
And also we do talks to students, photography students and things, and we do emphasise that photography is a great big sphere. It covers everything, and you don't have to just do portraits and landscapes and sunsets and things. Be imaginative and find what's interesting. Humour comes into our work quite a lot.
So I think this is typical Liverpool. So at least it's honest, isn't it?
That was in a little shop in North Liverpool.
No, it wasn't. It was Egbus Road, isn't it?
Same. and we had a big show in Liverpool.
The Museum of Liverpool called Mersey Style that was about regional
and that was
identity.
the invite and the poster. There was a huge poster all around Liverpool. And the guy in the shop only found out about it about 3 months into the show, that his boxes of veg were on the main poster.
But we just love the idea that it was never intended to be art, and it was just someone just having a bit of a laugh, thinking, just do another sign. But this, again, is one of our all-time...
Again, the language of marketing didn't quite work here.
So one of the things we've noticed on our travels is that there's often a yawning chasm between the language of marketing and the reality. So this was a Marital boutique in Slough. We've since gone back, well, not as customers. It's been regenerated and now has a fancy door. And
we stopped and took that after we'd gone round the roundabout 4 times trying to find a motorway.
So, yeah, a lot of our pictures are about the way we live today, about shopping. So this is another example we've said in our blurb about tourism, about attractions. And, you know, anywhere you go, you'll find something of interest. And what we love is celebrating individuality. And we don't know why that was there, but I'm glad it is.
Pier.
This is quite, quick. Hurry up. Yeah, that's West Pier. It's not much of it left. A lot of what we do is just recording things. Britain's in flux.
And we've been going a long time now. We have a huge archive, so it's very difficult to narrow it down to 4 minutes and 14 seconds we left.
Quick.
So we'll keep going. Again, it depends how you look at this. Some people think it's dereliction and miserable and awful, and other people think it's a beautiful image. In reality, it was just they were making way for a road in Liverpool.
To get to Liverpool one quicker.
To get to the shops quicker, that was the main thing. So.
But I think a lot of our pictures, we feel that you could say they're tragicomic, or we want them to be thought-provoking and just think, oh, is that beautiful, or is that...
And accidental art is another big theme that we run through. That's in Fraserbrough. It was just ship painters, and over 50-odd years they've been cleaning their brushes on the wall, and he never realised he's made a work of art at all.
So it's like they've created an unwitting attraction because people go on a pilgrimage to see it now. So all of these are projects. When we show work in the caravan and people come in, and then what we found really interesting is they go, oh, see that? I used to go to school there. I know that dog. And so
they used to bring things for us, and they used to show us things. They wanted to join in. So what we've done is just take what happens in the caravan and extend it into a bigger premises. And that is the one in Southampton at the moment, which is open till the end of November, so please pop in. I had a bit of trouble getting the caravan up there, but I made it.
So the idea is it's an evolving exhibition, and it's giving people the chance to express how they feel about their connection to place, and a lot of advertising. You know, we're told what we're meant to think about things, and so we want to just kind of blow apart misconceptions.
So it's part exhibition, part museum, part social centre, part...
Anything you want it to be?
Yeah, I mean, we're very open, as long as it's about the place. And we do end up making a little book out of each of these projects that we do. So outside there is a similar one from Sunderland that we've done already. At the same time, we have a touring exhibition that's going around. This is in Solent Showcase. The same images, but blown up and in a big frame and in a proper gallery, and they look totally different. It's amazing how different they appear just by the way you present things.
So the idea, we've been on a 2-year Arts Council funded strategic tour, the idea of which is to kind of link like the sort of street level stuff we do that's very accessible to anybody. You don't even tell them it's art, we think, well, is it interesting? But then we also show our work in what you might consider a kind of high status, posh gallery kind of place. And we try and encourage a crossover, because we believe art and culture's for everybody. So, that's the strategy is working quite well, isn't it?
We found this in Maidstone many years ago, and it does sum up a little bit of the way we work. It's whatever you're doing, it's the way you approach it and the way you look at it as the most important thing. An example, that gentleman from the front looks perfectly normal.
He might be here today, you don't know.
He had a proper job all his life, and when he retired, he thought, right, now I can do it. So what you see depends on where you stand.
So I suppose it's all about, everything we're about really is about encouraging people to just look around and question things, don't take things for granted. The Pride of Place projects, we want to encourage people just to get involved and participate. And you've got to think with the world the way it is today and all the disasters and doom that seems to be going on, it's like in our own communities, our own societies, we can make improvements, can't we? We can take part.
Thank you.
So, thank you.